The ocean is vast. In fact, it's the world's largest biome, covering about 70% of the Earth. A biome is simply a community of ecosystems. For example, coral reefs, kelp forests, and the deep sea are all examples of ecosystems within the greater marine biome. But because it's so large and contains so many different ecosystems, it can be difficult for scientists to model as a whole. There are just too many variables to consider.
Luckily, however, where humans fail, nature finds a way, meaning that there are naturally occurring models or microcosms of the ocean that we fondly know and love as tide pools. Tide pools, like their name suggests, are formed when the tide moves out back towards the open ocean due to gravity effects from the sun and the moon. Due to the rocky nature of most coastlines, some of that ocean water gets trapped, creating new areas or niches for small ocean plants, animals, and even microbiota to live.
It's a contained area of salt water that supports life, but it only contains one ecosystem and doesn't take a long, harrowing journey, or any threats of mutiny, to cross. This is what makes them the perfect model.
Let's consider an example. Recently, researchers at the Carnegie Institute for Science in Stanford, California, used tide pools as a model to understand the ongoing phenomena of ocean acidification. Since they're smaller and more densely packed with biota, the smallest input or output of, say, oxygen could drastically change the tide pool's environment. This is exactly what the researchers found. They observed that the changing daily amounts of dissolved oxygen in the tide pool caused the pH in the water to shift from high to low in a similar daily cycle.
This is because the plant life, such as algae, puts lots of oxygen into the water during the day due to photosynthetic processes. And when oxygen concentration in the water increases, so does the pH.
At night, when photosynthesis can no longer occur due to the lack of sunlight, no oxygen is being put into the water, but the invertebrates in the tide pools are taking it out.
When invertebrates breathe, they take in oxygen and replace it with carbon dioxide. This lowers the amount of oxygen in the water and effectively lowers the pH. Because the researchers now realize that tide pools mimic ocean acidification patterns, albeit on a more dramatic scale, they can now speculate how the ocean and all of its inhabitants may react to more dramatic pH shifts of its own, which could possibly be brought about by a more carbon dioxide-rich atmosphere. For Science Shorts, I'm Eden Duhamel.